Bobo the Vulture, and this is Let's Play Tecmo Super Bowl 1993 edition. In our last episode, the Buffalo Bills of 1993 took on the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots of 1993, we proved, are not the New England Patriots of 2017 or 2016 or 2015 or 2014, so on and so on and so on. We won 50-6. However, in a bout of hubris, I attempted to not rack up the score, just rack up the stats, because you get special cinematics for when a player runs for 100 yards, a player receives for 150 yards, and a quarterback passes for 300 yards. So, I think first I managed to get Andre Reed to 150 yards receiving. Shortly after that, I got Thurman Thomas up to 100 yards rushing. And I was within spitting distance of 300 yards passing for Jim Kelly when I kept aggressively calling for long pass plays and managed to get Jim Kelly sacked a couple of times in a row. Now he is out injured. So, that was a bad thing that I did. But let's see whether or not we can rally back. Frank Reich's not so bad. And we will go ahead and take a shot against the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Miami and the Giants. Oh wow, the Detroit Lions won. That is not a phrase you get to say that often. Ooh. Sorry, you guys need some ointments for those burns. Alright. Okay, Jim Kelly is not back, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and take on the Cowgirls. Oh! Yeah, Dallas Cowboys get a lot of guff for whatever reason, but they also get a lot of fans from not Dallas for whatever reason, too. It used to confuse me why there was such a outside of Pittsburgh diaspora for the Steelers, until I sort of looked at a map and listened and noticed patterns of a lot of the people that I know that sort of would identify with them as their team. And a lot of Appalachia would describe the Pittsburgh Steelers as their sort of team. And a lot of people in Appalachia end up leaving because they're looking for, looking for careers, looking for another life somewhere else. BB! There you go. Just run it out of there so that we don't get hit. We're not trying to be not trying to be too crazy here, guys. Saints fan. Being relevant most of the time. You get confused when we're winning. I mean, that's the life of a modern Bills fan, to be sure. First down. Blue 48. Put. Of course, this was a different time. I never actually got to go see while I was living there, I never got to see the Bills play at Rich Stadium, now Ralph Wilson Stadium. Nope, that was kind of a wash, wasn't it? 'Cause I was just a kid. Well, I mean, I wasn't a kid, but I was like, like 9, 10 years old. I wasn't going to be able to go by myself, for example. I did get to see the Bills play the Giants at the Meadowlands once, maybe a few years after I'd moved from Buffalo. Still was going to secretly root for the Bills, even though we were at the Meadowlands. I remember we saw this was the Vulture Clan, or the G family. The mysterious G family, however you want to view that particular outfit. First down. But I remember JG and I saw the most colorful ticket scalper while we were there. There's just this old guy chomping on a giant cigar. Let's get this to Keith McKell. Nope. Chomping on a giant cigar with an old style vintage leather football helmet, like the kind that they would have worn in like the 1930s or something like that. Like, first down. All right. Right, I changed I was looking for a specific play there, actually. I was looking, there is a play in the Bills playbook in this game where they just direct snapped the ball to Thurman Thomas instead of giving it to the quarterback, and just have him rush in wherever he can find a spot. But I went ahead and swapped that out because I use it so rarely. And JG in the future, when he sees this, will be very disappointed. Use a replica old football leatherhead in blue to do a Captain America costume. Yeah, it's exactly that. And it was painted blue and had a Giants logo sort of hand painted on it. And as we walk by the guy, you know, he's asking everyone, "Hey, you need any tickets? You guys want some tickets? You guys need any tickets?" And we said, "No, sorry, we don't need any tickets, thanks." He took a cigar out, looked at us, said, "I don't blame you. You'd have to pay me to watch this fucking game." And we went about our way. Instead of Giants, it said, "Pretty big guys." Instead of Giants, it said, legendary tall fellows. Wow. Who is their running back right now? Whoever it is, they've got some legs. No! Hey, Travis. Travis the Unknown. And know this, the Buffalo Bills of 1993 are ahead of the Dallas Cowboys by 7 points at the end of the first quarter. However, they just managed quite the impressive pass, putting themselves in near scoring position. At least they did, until they just got sacked. It just says they might be Giants. There you go. Let's give things another go here. Sneak through. Well, I bowled him over, but he had the cool presence of mind to be able to still get that pass off to Alvin Harper. You know what? I guess, yeah, it probably was Emmitt Smith. I think that's right. This was a good time for the Cowboys. I'm definitely not going to say it wasn't. I mean, I was also like, wait a minute, who was the quarterback for the... Aikman! Alvin quit baseball to end here. No, Alvin quit music to end up here. He was part of this incredible singing trio. Oh, geez, my thumb is slipping. I have a... This old Logitech gamepad that I'm using. It's modeled in your sort of classic PlayStation 2 style. However, the D-pad on it is a slick finish. It is not a matte in any way. So your thumb will sort of just go off of it. if you are, you know, you're in a bad position like that.
Red 24. Red 24. Hut.
Baby! Oh, damn it. That could have gone better. Could have gone better. He caught it. I would have been satisfied if he just caught it and stayed down. You sent the email to my email that gives away way too much about me, IRL, from the one that gave away too much about you, IRL. Okay, good. That's interesting. I don't have a numeral 1 in my inbox. Gee, I hope you emailed it to the right person who is Bobo at boboperson.com.
Round 52. Round 52. Hut. 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 Hut.
There goes Emmett Smith. Woo!
First down.
Bobo's real email at bobospoliticalwebsite.com. That sounds right. Now, Bobotropolis is my freemium online community where you can unlock Bobo points to accelerate certain special weekend contests. It'll help you unlock different outfits and possibly unlock new characters that don't actually do anything.
First down.
Club Bobo Penguin. That's right. Bobotropolis is is Club Bobo Penguin, pretty much. That's where we are. I really should get on creating my own online community. That's right. I will also dive tackle you after I've already just sort of roughed you down.
Blue 48. Blue 48. Hut. 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 Hut.
Well, it probably didn't go quite the way we were hoping, but I'm okay with that.
Blue 43. Blue 43. Hut.
That's right, we are blue. And there are 43 of us. Have we taken them out of field goal range? I believe we have. So they are going to try and punt. See what we can do about that. Nothing. Let's touch back that. I don't feel like trying to run that out of there. Considering the guys were on me by the time we finished with that little musical sting. Don't have a lot of time. I got to get the ball down the field fast. So let's give it to Thurman Thomas. No. That wasn't quite how I intended things to go.
Round 52. Hut. Hut. Hut.
Nice. Leaving catch. I'll take it. Yes! And you have to give it back to me. In your face, Troy Aikman! Oh, but I'm just a little backup quarterback. You have nothing to worry about from me. Oh ho ho ho. Jim Kelly got injured in the last game. So Frank Reich's out here to fill the gap. Suppose I can make some mention of it now. Bean and I spent some time this spring and summer attending games of indoor arena football because there is, as of this season, an arena football team in Washington, D.C. They are called the Washington Valor. And we could afford good tickets. So we went. And it's a good time. But I think 2 games into the season, the Valor starting quarterback, whose name is Meyer, was it Jeff Meyer? I'm asking as though Bean doesn't have headphones on and is looking at something else. Not Oscar Meyer. But had a thumb injury. And shortly after he got this thumb injury, he retired from the sport of arena football. So it's not a long season. I think there were only 10 games anyway. Yeah, thumbs down. So the remaining 8 games of their season, well, 8 home games, or not 8 home games, however many it was, our backup was our starter, Sean Brackett, which was always fun for Bean because well, I continue to talk about Sean Brackett. That's right, Maxwell Damage. Sean and then a bracket sign. But let's take a look at the stats here. So we outran and outpassed the Cowboys, which is good. We wanted to do those things, and we've outscored them. And honestly, Frank Reich's been holding up his end of the bargain pretty well. It hasn't been as standout a game offensively as our last game against the New England Patriots was, but you can't expect that against the Dallas Cowboys of 1993 as opposed to New England Patriots of 1993. Frank Reich is the general word for France. Yes, something like that. But no, I mean, aside from the performance as a QB that maybe Bean was not as impressed with, I think she did enjoy the fact that anytime the PA announcer, who we were actually just like maybe only a few rows back from, we had amazing seats. They were right on the 25-yard line, which in arena football is the 50-yard line. We had seats right there, and we were, like maybe 7-8 rows back. This was phenomenal stuff, but we were just a couple of rows behind the PA guys. They're not in a booth. They're actually just sitting at a little table on the front row. And yeah, all of a sudden I'm getting all kinds of hosts. Grimmeth, effing. I already got some hype hosting from Zerf. Everybody in here is earning their green names. 50% of the time, 25-yard line works every time. So that means that you got 66% of the time I'm going to win a match. And then you got 33% of the time I'm going to still make things happen. That means that 133 times. Yeah. All right, Travis the Unicorn also there. Dallas is going to lose because they got fat asses. Let's see. Actually, Dallas is a very good team in this game. They're not the best team. They're not a cheat hacks level team like arguably Buffalo is.
First down. Red 24.
But yeah, Bean really enjoyed one aspect of Sean Brackett as a quarterback, which is that every time the PA guy would announce that he had made a pass, it would say Brackett's a pass to number whoever. He would actually have a number, like Brackett's a pass to number 17, Justin Wilson. But it would sound to her like he was saying Razzmatazz, which was delightful.
Red 24. Red 24. Hut. 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 Hut.
Oh, I just went for a dive. Well, good job. You know what? That's fair. Hazel's taking a nap over here. Things are nice. Love that razzmatazz of arena football jazz.
Ready, set, put, put. First down.
Nice. Functional play.
Blue 43.
Get out there. Dance along the sidelines. You remember when arena football had, yeah, John Bon Jovi was one of the owners. And then more recently, didn't they have, well, the LA Kiss was owned by Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley. Yeah, I gotta do that before I lose my mind too.
First down.
And what's his name? The Motley Crue guy. What was his name? Help me out, chat. But the yeah, I think the Motley Crue guy owned a Fred Motley. Nice try, effing. Nice try. You gotta wake up early in the morning to put one past old Bobo.
Ready, 24. Put, 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 put.
No, not Tommy Lee. The I didn't think it was Tommy Lee. Am I thinking of somebody else entirely?
Put, put, put.
No. I may have this all wrong. 2 yards gain.
Ready, 24.
Yeah, I got it all
Ready,
wrong.
24. Put, put, put.
Wasn't Nicky Six.
First down.
Alright, everybody is asking whether it's Nicky Six now. No, not Nicky Six. Alright, I apparently either have the band wrong or I just need to provide some more information. There was an arena football team in Las Vegas that also had a guy that married. It's possible that Pamela Anderson has been married to more than one person. And she was married to potential future U.S. Senator Kid Rock. I'm thinking of Bret Michaels. I think Bret Michaels owned an arena football team in Las Vegas, but I'm not 100% positive. There was definitely an arena football team in Las Vegas that was owned by a rock star, and like all of them folded simultaneously at the end of last season. And Ted Leonsis, the man who owns Verizon Center, or a controlling stake in Verizon Center, as well as the Capitals, the Wizards, and the Mystics, bought, created, however that process goes, 2 separate Arena Football League franchises. Bret Michaels is poison. Thank you, Grimmeth. I just picked a play that they are almost certainly not going to execute because I was just going through the motions here. Wow, I need to apparently just go through the motions more often because they stumbled across the one play that I happened to get. Because, of course, your characters get speed and power boosts whenever you pick the correct play, and the opposing team is meant to just sort of melt.
Ready, 24. Put, 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 put.
But yes, Ted Leonsis went ahead and bought teams in Washington, D.C. to play at his Verizon Center, and went ahead and bought a franchise in Baltimore to play at Royal Farms Arena, which is, I think, where... Who plays there? Not University of Maryland. Maybe University of Maryland, Baltimore. But yeah, it's a basketball arena, which is fine. Basically, arena football designed to be played in basketball or hockey arenas. That's sort of its whole deal. That's weird. I could have sworn that's what I picked to cover. That's alright.
First down.
It's okay. 50-yard gain's not that big deal.
Red 24.
It's kind of a pretty heavy score, if I'm honest.
Red 32.
Oh, he's gonna get that. Oh, wow. Troy Aikman overthrew. Wonders will never cease. 3rd and 13.
Ready. Set.
But basically because there are only 5 teams left in arena football. So he needed to, there were only 3. There's not enough. That is not enough to create a league. It was what, the Tampa Bay Storm, the Cleveland Gladiators. Yes! Stop him. Stop him good. This is the era that all the kids own team starter jackets. Yes, 93, that probably would have been. Like 91, 92 for sure. You need a starter jacket.
Blue 48.
And if it was football, you needed... Oh boy, that was not good.
Blue 43. First down.
What, you guys... They're still diving after me long after the play is over. I mean, I thought I was only as dickish as that. I didn't realize that they also would do that sort of thing. Jets are projected to go 0-16 this year. Well, that'd be sad. You didn't even have to call your timeout. I'll call play quickly. I'm not trying to lose. I'm not trying to win this game through chicanery. Though maybe I should be, eh?
First down.
Well, go ahead and call your times out, I guess. Yeah, it was the Tampa Bay Storm, the Cleveland Indians, and the Philadelphia Soul. Those were the 3 teams that had existed previously in the Arena Football League. And then I think the LA Kiss and whatever the Bret Michaels team was from Las Vegas and a bunch of those other guys, they all folded. So they're like, well, we need at least 2 more teams in order to have 5 teams to create some semblance of a league. So Ted Leonsis put together 2, one in Baltimore and one in DC, so that they could have a crosstown rivalry, which is weird. You would think it's the American Arena Football League or whatever, that you could put them anywhere, and you're going to have 5 teams, and 2 of them are going to be within an hour of each other. I suppose in theory it makes some sense. There's a lot of, like, essentially giving away of tickets, so if you own 2 teams and you want to sort of make either of them look like they're doing it all successfully, you could say, hey, you bought a ticket to one team? Go to the other team. Which one is more dem and which one is more rep? Well, I will tell you that the former starting quarterback of the Valor, Meyer, the guy who had a thumb injury and just decided to retire from football, because I guess it was a serious-ass thumb injury, you know how they'll have, like, little bandana, like, towel things or whatever that they hang off of their belts to dry off their hands, because they gotta have nice, perfectly moistened hands for ideal throwing. His had hashtag MAGA on it, which I was never entirely comfortable with, but He's retired now, so what are you going to do? Yeah, it's a serious ass thumb injury. I mean, that guy had his thumb so far up his ass. Yeah, serious ass thumb injury. You will notice I am playing it safe now and pretty much just relying entirely on Thurman Thomas. And I was doing a little bit of ice cream there. Or not ice cream, whatever it is. The dancing along the end zone. I didn't actually intend to do that. But it's okay, it worked out. A little bit of showboating. Smoke ice cream every day. Ice cream every day. I was trying to think specifically of the Bobo the Showboto. Showboat the Vulture. Alright, 15 seconds left. You guys got this. I'm like acting like some kind of big man, like I've got this huge advantage. I mean, we are up by 2 scores. They're not going to win, but at the same time, I really shouldn't just be like, oh, good job, Cowboys. You did so good. Oh, my God. I think it's pretty anachronistic that I have modded in Chris Christie as my kicker. It's Steve Christie effing. Come on now. Got the ice cream, and you did. Could be. Some of those early Eddie Murphy albums, still very good, but do deal with social issues in a way that is somewhat different than they would be dealt with in this day and age. All right. Sevens. 28-14. So, yeah, in the end, tried not to rely as much on Frank Reich, but he did an admirable enough job. Yeah, that's right. Had a better completion rate than Troy Aikman. Did not get in as many yards, though. I was not utilizing him nearly as much. I was trying to lean on Thurman Thomas, carry the team through, especially once we got a lead. I did not want to risk airing it out because we haven't seen it go to tears quite as often, but we have seen Frank throw a couple of wild passes. Usually they end up out of bounds, or he just ends up overthrowing. But at the same time, don't want to risk it. Don't want to risk just having him just randomly throw to a safety out there or something like that. But not a bad result. I'll take it. Let's go ahead and finish the rest of the week. First Mark, then second Reich. There you go. My QB had a first name, and it wasn't OSCAR. Also, fun thing about arena football, when they throw out of bounds, they're throwing at you. They're throwing the ball to you. And actually, we ended up having a bunch of extra passes. Because we were season ticket holders to the Washington Valor. Because it was just dirt cheap to do. And we may never be able to afford season tickets to anything. Steve Christie was signed to a one-day contract with the Bills when he retired, so he could retire as a Bill. That's sweet. I am down with when teams do that, because there are some guys where like they have an extra, they have a whole second act to their career, and sometimes that second act is almost as compelling or as, I guess, fruit-bearing, whatever you would want to say, as the first. You get like a Peyton Manning, and yeah, people will probably remember him as a Colt, but he did all right after in his last couple seasons in Denver. That was all right? God, I hope I'm thinking of all the right teams now. Otherwise, I'll look like such a fool. almost as fertile. Now then. There's Aikman. We still do not have a QB on the leading passers list. Completion percentages. I don't think it's going to count our guys at all. He played with the horses. There you go, horses. Yeah. I've been spreading out my receiving yards between Don Beebe and Andre Reed. And again, last game, I didn't do near as much passing. So, obviously, all the yards to Thurman Thomas. Favre will continue to be in football games for another 3 decades. I'm kind of surprised. Well, no, they did have a Brett Favre. There was some Brett Favre licensed football game, wasn't there? I mean, there was a Troy Aikman one, I remember. There was John Elway as quarterback. Surely Brett Favre had a Brett Favre rough and tumble super extreme football plus. Or something like that. Who's our leading scorer? Better bet it's Thurman Thomas. And, oh, right, I should have checked the leaders in sack. We didn't actually get really any sacks in that game, so we were not going to end up on there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule, though. Week 3 is our bye week, so we are going to go ahead and skip all the way through to Week 4. But let's go ahead and set the auto-skip to Week 4. And get all that started. And when we come back next time, folks, because I am still splitting these up for YouTube because I plan to publish them on the actual Sundays of the weeks of the NFL season, I will be facing the Bills' old rivals, the Miami Dolphins. This, of course, in the old Marino days. So this will be... I don't know if you guys heard that, but Bean had a... yeah, so... Football Plus on the other side of the clothes store. There you go, Football Plus. That's football big and tall. Anyhow, this is Bubba the Vulture. This is Let's Play Tecmo Super Bowl 1993 season mode. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye for now.